Erin's gonna teach me some stuff about my car. Look at her, she's beautiful. Yeah.
Alright guys, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. Cameraman Skylar, who you may or may not have already seen, just picked up this 07 Volvo V50 T5, the good one. And there's been some concerns about his fuel economy. So what I'm going to try to share with you today, as he gets really uncomfortably close to my face, is some things that you can check with your car if you're worried that your fuel economy is running a little low. Now, the biggest contributing factor to your fuel economy is your right foot.
I'm not doing that, I'm not wearing socks.
If you're heavy on the gas, heavy on the brakes, and not smooth in how you operate your vehicle, that does dramatically affect your fuel economy.
Take two.
Obviously, if you're smooth, you transition from gas to brake, your fuel economy will be better. Your transmission learns how you drive, and as your transmission, when it's automatic, I should say, when it's manual, it's all you, good for you. When it's automatic, it learns how you drive and adjusts shifting patterns accordingly. Things that are slightly less out of your control, but also in your control, are the regular maintenance items. What you're looking for is making sure, one, you're putting the right fuel in the car. This, like a lot of other Euro cars and a lot of turbo cars and anything with a high compression engine, it'll tell you in the gas cap if the sticker hasn't been taken off, but you need to run higher grade fuels. If it says run premium, put premium in it. Don't skip out and think you're going to save some money, because you could blow your engine. Just not good. The other main thing are your obvious maintenance items. You need to check your filters, your fuel filters and your air filters. We're checking the air filter today, hence the stubby screwdriver, because this, unlike a lot of other cars, for some reason, they give you easy access to the ECU, but the air filter's behind screws. Maybe your computer is a maintenance part. So we're gonna try to pop these screws out, see what this air filter's like. Now, another thing that could happen is your fuel, if you have high mileage and it wasn't well maintained, your fuel injectors could be plugged, which is not good. And you also, obviously, you need to keep up with your oil changes. This is all just regular maintenance hoopla that if you own a vehicle and don't do, you shouldn't own a vehicle. I don't know if these come out, they're just kind of, there we go. It's your fairly bog standard filter, and it's pretty dirty.
Yeah.
Now, it's not awful, but it is dirty. We're gonna want to swap that at some point. The good thing is I'm not seeing any oil in there. With this being a turbo car, there are some concerns where you can get oil into areas where it's not supposed to be, whether it be by blow-by or your oil seals inside your turbo go bad. You can get oil everywhere, and that you don't want. One thing I would recommend, if your vehicle is capable, is to run a K&N style air filter. Not every vehicle is capable of running those filters because they're in an oil bath, so the filters themselves are bathed in oil to help catch more sediment and dust and particles and other crap that you don't want going into your engine. The problem is that oil can get onto mass airflow sensors. Chevy had a big problem with this back in the day, and jack up a whole lot of other things that you don't want to have jacked up. Now, another thing that can affect your fuel economy is your exhaust system, your intake system. If you swap over your factory intake system for something else, whether you're trying to be fancy and put in a cold air intake, which is just putting hot air in your car, that will reduce your fuel economy. If you put a exhaust on there, turbo cars, it really only makes a difference if you're swapping from like the turbo back Mufflers on most cars don't really make a whole lot of difference, but if you're swapping parts and you aren't adjusting this easily accessed ECU to accept those changes, your fuel economy will degrade. So editing this guy here, I forgot to mention in there the other major important thing that you can do that's relatively easy in most cases is your spark plugs. Your spark plugs are also a huge contributing factor to your fuel economy, and you want to make sure those are fresh too. I will at some point show a video in the future helping you see the difference between, I mean, a new plug's pretty obvious, but also different kinds of dirty plugs. So give you some more information about it. So back to the other guy. That's not absolutely everything that can cause these problems. That's just kind of your major basic ones. The biggest thing you can do is just learn how to drive smooth. Don't have a heavy foot, and you should be good. Check your filters, drive smooth, and save money. Bye.
Take one. That's the engine. I know that much. I don't know anything about cars. Look at it. Pretty. Probably can't see that, but it was cool.